His Holiness Chandramauli Swami Maharaj's daily class. I welcome all of you. And today we are continuing with our Srimad Bhagavatam study of second canto, fifth chapter, the cause of all causes, and verse number 12. Hare Krishna Maharaj, my humble obeisances to you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for your time and association. I'll share my screen. And please take over, Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Tasman Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Dhimahi Yamaya Yadujaya Yamam Vadati Jagat Gurum. Translation: I offer my obeisances and meditate upon Lord Krishna Vasudeva, the personality of Godhead, whose invincible potency influences them, that is, the less intelligent class of men, to call me the Supreme Controller. As will be more clearly explained in the next verse, the illusionary potency of the Lord bewilders the less intelligent to accept Brahmaji, or for that matter, any other person as the Supreme Lord. Brahmaji, however, refuses to be called this, and he directly offers his respectful obeisances unto Lord Vasudeva, or Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, as he has already offered the same respects to him in the Brahma Samhita 5.1. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchirananda Vigraham Anarirari Govinda Sarvakarna Karanam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, the primeval Lord, is his transcendental body, the ultimate cause of all causes. I worship that primeval Lord, Govinda. Brahma is conscious of his actual position. He knows how less intelligent persons, bewildered by the illusion energy of the Lord, whimsily accept anyone and everyone as God. Responsible person like Brahmaji refuses to be addressed as the Supreme Lord by his disciples or subordinates, but foolish persons praised by men of the nature of dogs, hogs, camels, and asses feel flattered to be addressed as the Supreme Lord. Why such persons take pleasure in being addressed as God, or why such persons are addressed as God by foolish admirers, is explained in the following verse. Okay, so Om Gyan Timirandasya Gana Jana Salakaya Chaksun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimakti Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Nami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvasesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarani Vanchakopa Tarubhischa Kripa Sindhu Paevacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavindam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, yeah, Brahma knows his position. Although he's powerful and he has creative potency, he understands, as Krishna explains, anything you have, everything you have, anything that's given to you, anything, your abilities, your intelligence, your facilities, your relationships, your arrangements, it's me. I am the source. I am behind everything, even though you may not see me. Still, I am the cause of all causes, as this verse says, Sarva Karna Karnam. I worship that cause of all causes. He knows his position. Therefore, he's making his position known so people don't become bewildered by the idea that he is God or that some other person who also makes some statements about their own powers and positions also think they're God can also be exposed as what they are, dog, as Prabhupada said. Anyone who thinks he's God, he's dog. D-O-G, G-O-D. One passes stool and barks, and the other one is the supreme controller who is the cause of all causes. Quite an opposite comparison. But this is the way the world is. People fall into this illusion simply because of some acquired powers, which are ultimately Krishna's powers anyway, to think that they are something else than they really think. And as devotees, we should also know our position, because our position is very important. Because if we don't know what is our position, we won't know what actually is the goal of life or how to achieve the goal of life. We are also like Brahma. We are a servant of the Supreme Lord eternally. That is our position. There is no other position for the living entity in any species of life. Although covered by a material body and acting according to that body that we have or they have, still, it doesn't mean that is us. You can get on a stage and play a role as a particular dramatic actor, but if you think you're that dramatic actor, then you're going to be what we say surprised when the drama is over. So this drama of material life, we play this role of thinking we are man, woman, housewife, father, children, president. The list goes on and on and on. Material designations and titles is a long list of illusions that people adopt based on the body they have and the activities they perform. But it's one big drama. As Shakespeare wrote, all the world is a stage. We're play acting here, thinking we're something other than who we actually are. But when we come back to the knowledge given to us by Krishna through his representative, the spiritual master, then the illusion becomes pierced and the reality starts to awaken. And that reality is that we can never be anything else but the eternal servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is also eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. Krishna has all of those qualities. He has many, many qualities, and the living entity in the material world has many of the same qualities that Krishna has, but in smaller quantity, because the soul and the Supreme Soul are the same nature. The ocean and the drop of water are of the same nature. They have liquidity in them. They may also be salty, but at the same time, one cannot swim in the drop. But at the same time, the drop is similar to the ocean, but not as great as the ocean. And the relationship with the drop is that when it connects with the ocean, it has meaning. But when it's outside of the ocean, that drop gets dispensed and lost and forgotten about. So in the same way, we are also meant to understand our position. And when we act in our position, we get the understanding of a little bit as we gradually proceed in that activities by serving the Lord, glorifying the Lord, worshiping the Lord, offering obeisances to the Lord, and especially and particularly serving those who are serving the Lord. Then that service is the greatest of all service. That is, of all of the services that one can perform, serving those who serve the Lord is the greatest of all service. It's even higher than serving the Lord. Why? Because the Lord is more pleased because he loves those who serve him, and therefore those who serve him with love, they become very dear to the Lord. Just like, there's an old saying, if you love me, love my dog. It's kind of like, if you really love me, love those things that I love. So in the same way, by loving and serving those who serve the Lord in devotion, then we make quick progress on the path of devotional service. That's the nature of the Lord. The Lord is surrounded by unlimited living entities who are glorifying him in the spiritual world. And of course, that is the spiritual world. But when those in the material world take up the service of glorifying those who glorify the Lord, that service is the best of all services. And therefore, Vaishnav Seva is superior than Krishna Seva. But of course, we serve the Lord by serving the Vaishnavas, so it's not separate from service to the Lord, because the Vaishnavas, those pure devotees, are connected with the Lord, or any devotee that's connected with the Lord in service, even though they may be pure devotees. If we render service to them, then we can actually understand the mercy of the Lord will come into one's life. And then when the mercy comes, then all material desires are reduced, material sufferings are destroyed, vanquished. Real knowledge is awakened, and along with that knowledge comes transcendental pleasure. So that is the position of a devotee. They're always looking to serve the devotees of the Lord. And it's not that sometimes we think, oh yes, I'll serve the devotees of the Lord, and any opportunity I get. No, you have to. It's not like that. You have to make plans to serve the Lord's devotees. You have to be proactive in that area, not simply accept it whenever it comes. That's nice, and that's also good. That's also the same thing. But those who actually think how best to serve the devotees who are serving the Lord, they become really happy in Krishna consciousness. And to serve the Lord is not so easy because Krishna he doesn't need anything, but he accepts our service. That's his loving mood towards towards the living entities. But if we serve the devotees of the Lord who may also need something on the level that they exist, that becomes great service. Just like when Prabhupada one time he was traveling, and they came to France, and one girl, and she was with him in the travels. They had just come back from India, and the girl was sick. So immediately when she arrived in France, her home country, they took her to the hospital. Prabhupada came into the temple. He sat on the Vyasa and he said a few words. He said, "Let us all go." And he named her and he said, "We will all go see your god sister who is in the hospital." Prabhupada didn't even waste time for making, or not waste time, but didn't take time for making any lecture. He simply encouraged all the devotees to go to the hospital and see that their god sister who was suffering. So Prabhupada did that. There are many stories. One time Prabhupada was in Mayapur. He was receiving Guru Puja. The kirtan was going on. Devotees were coming up one after another and offering flowers to the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada. One devotee came up, and as he was offering flowers, Prabhupada noticed on his leg there was quite a noticeable cut on his leg. Prabhupada called him over. This is now the kirtan's going on. Prabhupada's being worshipped. He calls him over and says, "Are you getting a proper medicine for that?" Of course, he wasn't, but he said to Prabhupada, "Oh, yes, Prabhupada, everything is okay." Prabhupada could understand. Immediately, he called for his assistant who was sitting next to him, and he wrote down some medical formula, some medicine, and he handed him. This happened in the middle of Prabhupada accepting worship. So Prabhupada was very also eager to see his devotees got everything they need to serve the Lord. He not only gave philosophical and transcendental knowledge, but he also gave material directions when it was needed. For instance, there is one book put together by His Holiness Prahlādananda Maharaj, he speaks about all of Prabhupada's statements about um, medical care. Prabhupada said so many things that are very helpful in taking care of your physical body and when it gets sick or even to prevent sickness. So Prabhupada was very, what we say, what's the word? Holistic. He didn't think, well, I'm a guru, I give philosophy, that's it. No, he was very, very personal, because the Krishna conscious movement is a personal movement. We are not like the impersonalists who simply think God is impersonal, and our relationships with each other are formalized based on a particular topic of relationship, but it doesn't go beyond that because we don't get into the personal aspect. But Prabhupada was personal. Just like one time Prabhupada was in Mayapur, he was standing on the top of the Lotus building. He was looking in one direction, and in that direction there just had been this, there was just a big feast. It was a serve out, and now everything was done, but all of the leaf plates and cups and some leftover prasadam was there, and the dogs were running in there and getting it, and also the children from the local village was also getting it. And the children and the dogs were fighting amongst each other to get whatever food was there. Prabhupada saw that, and he became so emotional, thinking, these children, we have to take care of them. And soon as after that, he started a regular Prasadam Sarva, which is going on today, where anyone and everyone from any part of the village or the surrounding areas, they can come and get free Krishna Prasadam at any time. So that was Prabhupada. Very, very personal, not just, well, I'm a guru, I give you transcendental knowledge, bus, that's it. No, personality. Our movement is very personal. It's not simply, doing everything in a very mechanical or very routine way. Everything is done to glorify the person, to serve the persons, to associate with other persons. Material world, people are not very personal because in between their relationships is some selfish motivation that people are trying to gain from that relationship. Therefore, when you look at it, you could say that most relationships in the material world are impersonal because the motivation is not the person, but something to get from that relationship, which is basically material or selfish. But devotees don't want to get anything. They want to give. This is the nature of the devotee. He's happy. She's happy when she can serve. And she thinks, if I can't serve, then, oh my God, it's the worst possible thing. Imagine one day you wake up in the morning and there's no service. You can't find anything to do, nothing, nobody's going to give you any service. You would think, oh my God, this is worse than hell. No service. So a devotee likes to serve. Devotee is eager to serve. Devotee loves to associate with other devotees who are engaged in service also. And the devotee also likes to glorify the Lord in the association of other devotees who are doing the same. This brings about Krishna's transcendental happiness, and then he showers his mercy upon those who engage in that way. That's Krishna. He's very appreciative for anything you do, especially when you serve his devotees. So here, Brahma, he's a devotee. He's a very powerful devotee. He's one of the topmost devotees. He's head of the Sampradaya. He received the knowledge that he has from Krishna himself. Tene Brahma Ida Adikabaye. He got the knowledge right within the heart. And he's very close to Krishna, you might say, because Krishna spoke to him directly and explained to him what his service was in unfolding the creation. So imagine his position. And he is sometimes seen as the supreme author of everything, but he doesn't. Now he's explaining his real position. I'm not like that. Of course, the next verse, as Prabhupada mentions in the end of the purport, will explain it even more clearly. We'll get into that on Friday, because tomorrow we have a different class. But this is Lord Brahma. He is happy just to reveal what is his real position and not accept some false thing. Sometimes, people just like I know one devotee in Krishna consciousness, I won't mention his name. He has this situation where he gets blamed for something he doesn't do. In other words, when something goes wrong, he gets blamed for it, although he didn't do it. He told me this personally. He said, this happens all the time. I get blamed for things I don't do. I don't know why. But then this was going on for a good part of his life. It was happening regularly. So then he did a little research into his past life through astrology and found that in his past life, he was taking credit for things he didn't do. So now he's getting the reaction of his karma in the form of the opposite. So Brahma doesn't want to be like that. He doesn't want to have to be criticized for things he didn't do. At the same time, he doesn't want the position of being glorified unnecessarily because he didn't do it. Or he did it in the sense that he did it on behalf of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he's making that clear. I am not the source as everyone thinks. So a devotee is honest. What is their honesty? Jiver Sarupaya Krishnera Nityadas. That is my identity. I have no other identity. There's a thing in the Shastras which is called self-hate. Sounds kind of like almost like an oxymoron. How can you hate yourself? But there are people who hate themselves, but they don't really know what is the reason behind their hate. What is the self-hate? They understand that they are spiritual beings, but that gives them fright because that means they have to give up their material activities, and they don't want to do that. So they hate the fact that they're actually a spiritual being rather than a material being who wants to enjoy in this material world. Now, this is called self-hate. When you know who you are, but you don't like it because it causes you to give up or makes you think you have to give up the activities that you're enjoying in this material world, or so-called enjoying. Anyway. So that's another aspect of accepting something that is not real. Okay, so we'll stop there and we'll open it up for discussion. And we have 25 minutes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you so much. Such a wonderful class and explaining about the position of our devotees and how to serve devotees. And devotees seek pleasure or they make progress while serving the other devotees. And a lot of many important points, Maharaj. Thank you so much. I see already 2 hands raised up. Dear devotees, please turn on your cameras if possible, wherever you are. Thank you.
Sri Devi had her hand up first, I think.
Maharaj, Amrita did.
Okay. Amrita Mataji, please go ahead.
Okay.
It's okay if Sri Devi Mataji wants to go ahead. Okay.
Whoever goes last gets the best position. So.
Please accept my humble obeisance, Maharaj. Please accept. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So you just mentioned one nice example of a person who was suffering from his karma, who was getting blamed for each and everything. So I was just thinking, when a person is suffering from such kind of karma, then even as devotees, what's the solution for them?
Chant Hare Krishna. Just accept whatever comes as the mercy of Krishna. But karma is dispensable in due course of time. So as you make progress in devotional service, it'll reduce until it comes down to nil. It doesn't. Karma is the only thing out of all of the activities, and that Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita, karma is temporary, whereas everything else, Krishna, the jiva, time, the material energy, they're all eternal.
Yes, Kamaraj. Because I see that many times there are karmic patterns also in which usually people get stuck up. They can't get out of it. So that I
So what's the solution? Solution is Krishna consciousness.
so as you mentioned, I think Krishna consciousness will break that as well.
Yeah, when it comes to something you can't do, in other words, you can't practically make any difference. Just like when you get sick, what do? I mean, you try to get some medicine and try to cure the disease, but still, when you're undergoing the suffering of the disease, what do? You just suffer? No, you just take shelter of the holy name. And that way your consciousness rises above the bodily ailment state. It's like Somadatri, she came to the retreat and she was really suffering. And then she did some medicine, it helped a little bit. But then one night we were having kirtan, she was bumping all over the place. She dancing and jumping up and down. So she didn't sit there and just suffer. She started to dance and sing and then everyone thought, wow, this is great. She's really sick, but still at the same time she was showing that, we can just sit there and suffer, or we can do something on the transcendental platform to bring our consciousness above our material situation.
Yes, Kamaraj, I agree. She is one of the best examples I have ever met.
Yeah, you don't really know how good a dancer she is. She's a little shy, but she's real. When she gets going, watch out.
Yeah, she loves disco. I know that.
She's not she's not a spring chicken either. She's up there in numbers,
Hare Krishna. Thank you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Glories to our Gurudev.
And thank you. Thank you for being an example of not. And this is something that I've always seen working with her in Slovenia. Her body would be going through a lot of difficulties, but she never gave up her service. They'd have to tell her to stop before she would give up her service.
Krishna. All your mercy and Prabhupada's mercy. Thank you. Thank you to tolerate me, and I have your shelter. Thank you very much, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you for your example of what bhakti is. Okay.
Thank you so much. Sridevi Mataji, please go ahead.
Thank you, Srimati. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my most humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Guru Maharaj, as you were speaking on the importance of Vaishnav Seva, of really serving the devotees of the Lord, some things came to my mind. I remember when I was in New Talvan and Sunday feast, we had a lot of Indian people coming, and they would start talking and saying, but we are serving our family, Some of the little older ladies, they would my children so nicely. I made so many nice preparations for them, and I've taken care of my grandchildren so nicely. I got my daughters married so nicely, and even the husband will be very proud. He'd say, I have educated my sons, I have raised them, I've set them up in business, I've given them great education, I've done everything very nice for my family. So they would very proudly talk about their achievements when it came to the family. Of course, they'll put a little donation and they'll go, but they will not take up bhakti. They will not,
Yeah. Yeah,
so
because they think that that is actually, better. What is that? Now, what is that statement? There's a statement that they say, work is worship. Yeah, work is worship. But we understand if they're actually serving the family, they're giving the family what the family actually needs, and that is Krishna. What does Rishabdev say? We crossed that verse in the discussion during the retreat. What did he say? Don't become a mother. Don't become a father. Don't become a guru. Don't become a teacher unless you can guide your, disciples, your family members towards the goal of life, Krishna consciousness. So they're doing, and even from another angle, doesn't mean that by providing all of these material things, people will be happy. Doesn't mean people are going to be happy anyway. There are many people who have all these things, but they're suffering because these things cannot touch the real goal of life. They're simply external. They pertain to the body, not to the person.
they'll strenuously deny that they are unhappy. They will claim and they will insist that they are very happy, their children are happy, their grandchildren are happy, they are happy, they go on nice vacations, they have a nice life, beautiful life. Like this, they will protest. Even if you try to tell them to take up bhakti, they will say, no, we are happy like this also, like this.
Well, what can you do?
Okay.
If they remain stubborn, then just you go on and talk to somebody who is more, willing to hear, willing to learn. Well, don't waste your time with them.
Yes, Guru Maharaj.
We got Kishori there. She's
Kishori Vallabha.
Jai Ho.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for this class. You mentioned that Krishna is the cause of everything. So all of our abilities, our strengths, our achievements. So how do we get out of this illusion? Like, can you share some strategies that we can adopt when we start to think that, this is my doing or this is my achievements?
We have to work. We have to make an effort. We have to develop. We have to perform our activities, and we have to try to do them in the best possible way. But we should always know behind the scene is the remote cause. We've been discussing that during the very beginning of this chapter, that behind everything is Krishna. He is the cause of all causes. He says, I am the ability of all living beings. He says, knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness come from me. So we may be one part of the activity, but we are not the cause or the results of the activity, as Krishna explains in the Gita. If Krishna doesn't want something to happen, it won't happen, even if you're expert at it. And if he wants something to happen and you don't even know how to do it, it will work. So you have to understand that he is that force, as that verse says, Sarva Karna Karnam, means he is the cause of all causes. So there's an initial cause that makes all of the other causes happen, and that's the element of Krishna's direct or indirect presence, direct in the spiritual, indirect in the material. But it's Krishna behind everything. So those who depend on Krishna in all situations will always be in the best position to make progress in devotional service. And their activities will always be, what we say, satisfactory, because they don't depend on their own abilities, they depend on Krishna. But they act. You got to act. You got to take care of your children. You got to serve your husband. You got to do what you have to do in order to live in this world. And you have to try to do these things in the way that the things work nicely. But behind all of the activity is Krishna. He's the remote cause or the initial cause. So a devotee who knows that doesn't take credit for the activities, nor does he give blame to Krishna when things don't work out. We always say whatever good we can do, we offer to Krishna, and he gets the credit, or the spiritual master gets the credit. We glorify both. And when things go wrong, it's our fault. That means we didn't do it right. We didn't listen to Krishna. We made our own ideas. Or we're still learning how to do things. So this is a principle of Shastric knowledge. Behind everything, Krishna says, rasaham apsakuntaya, babasmi sasisurya, sarva, what is it? Sarsasurya, sarva, vedeshu, sabdake purusham nishu. Sabdake purusham nishu means I am the ability in all living entities. Where does that ability come from? It's Krishna. There's a beautiful story. I'll tell it. We want to catch all the questions, but I'll tell the story. It was one famous German girl. She was born crippled. The doctors told her mother she'll never be able to walk. And she kept saying to her mother, I want to walk. I want to walk. I want to walk. So her mother said, just pray to God. So she was praying to God. After some time, she walked. And it was kind of like a miracle. Then after some time, her prayers continued and she started to run. And after some time, she became such a fast runner, she entered into the Olympics and won the Olympics as the fastest racer. Simply, when she was born, they told her she would never even walk. But at the end, I forgot her name. Her last name was Wilhelm. I can't remember her first name. I think she won the Olympics in 1935. Her story is well known. There's this Christian preacher. He has no arms and no legs. I think Sri Devi knows about him. You've seen him? He has no. What's his name?
Nick Vujicic.
Yeah. He preaches, and he has no arms and legs, but he swims. Can you imagine that? And he does the most amazing things simply as a body. His arms and legs are cut off right at the source. He doesn't have a partial arm or partial leg. He has no arms and no leg. But he believes in God so strongly and prays to God, and he wants to do things. He wants to help people. He wants to practice his tradition. And because of his determination and his love for God, the guy's amazing. You can read about him. He's somewhere. He's still living even today. So when you have determination, you can overshadow any determination and the mercy of God. You can determine, you can overcome any, what we say, limitations. Sometimes devotees think, well, I'm not so intelligent. I can't do too many things. I'll never become Krishna conscious. That means you don't understand that Krishna is the force of success. All you have to do is severely make an effort. If you seriously make an effort, Krishna will do the rest.
Yes, Maharaj.
So never put limitations on yourself.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kishori. How's Jagannath? Is he doing good?
Yes, Guru Maharaj. They are. Hence, I
Good.
haven't asked you when you're returning.
I have a surprise for you, but I'm not telling you.
Thank you,
Because
Guru Maharaj.
it's a surprise. Rishabh.
Yeah, Prabhu, please go ahead.
Dear Vaishnavas, this is my humble obeisance. Gurudev, can you tell us how rare devotees are in this world? And even amongst the devotees, how rare are the one who are seriously practicing?
Manusanam sahasreshu yatatit kintaya yatatam abhisidhanam kaschid mam veti tatfataham. Out of many millions of men, one may endeavor for self-realization. Out of those who endeavor for self-realization, very few actually make it. And out of those who make it, hardly one knows me in truth. Bhagavad Gita 7:3. You can read that verse. And Nectar Devotion, in the very first chapter, explains that devotional service is rare. Pure devotional service is very rare. It's one of the characteristics of pure devotional service. So in proportion to the amount of living entities, those who actually take up devotional service, as the number is insignificant comparatively. And then when you see those who take it up, how many actually reach perfection? That's even much rarer. And actually, with those who reach perfection, one who knows Krishna in truth, or knows enough about Krishna that they can become fully in love with Krishna, or reach the platform of prema bhakti. Oh, it's rare. Very rare. That doesn't mean you should give up. Lord Chaitanya made it easier through the Harinam Sankirtan. So if you emphasize chanting and dancing and reading and studying these books, then you can be in a good position to achieve full Krishna consciousness. It only takes three things: chant the holy names, serve the Vaishnavas, and read and study these books.
Thank you, Maharaj.
So what about the millions of others that will join the movement? How will they believe? How will they achieve perfection? And when?
Prabhupada said it's not possible for everyone to become Krishna conscious. I think there's a program now, I don't know, devotees have taken this program that by the year 2035, they want to make 3% of the population of America Krishna conscious. There's a program going on. They're working in that direction. 3% that's 10 years from now. We can get, it's called 335. So that's a lot. Of course, that's just America, but that's a lot. Yeah. People don't want this. People are inclined to sense gratification. Devotees also like to enjoy their senses, but they understand real sense gratification is to make the senses of Krishna satisfied. And because you're connected with Krishna, your senses also become satisfied. But the materialists can't understand that. Sense gratification is the inclination of the living entity. But making the senses of Krishna satisfied is the actual real sense gratification.
The sense gratification, the pushing of the body mind. Like in
Huh?
the sense that the sense gratification is a body pushes us for sense gratification, and because Jiva identifies with the body, that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we have austerity, is to say no. Arti.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Aarti
Hare,
Mataji.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Prabhupada, all glories to you, Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj, my question was like, as the topic was for serving, whenever I want to serve in the temple, or either I got an opportunity, but I'm not able to do it because of my son. He's on a spectrum and he need all time attention, but my son loves kirtan like anything. He dance, he jump in kirtan. So Guru Maharaj, I always like, if sometimes I got the opportunity and I did the service in the temple, then my husband will not allow me because he's not Krishna conscious. He's God conscious, but he's not Krishna conscious. So is this like, sometimes literally I cry for the service, but even the Vaishnavas give me service, but I'm not able to. So is this my past karma, Guru Maharaj, that I'm not
You have to continue to make your efforts, and then in due course of time you'll be successful. It means you have to work on it. There's an obstacle, and you have to overcome that obstacle. So if you just resign and say, oh, it's my karma, and that's the way it's going to be, then you'll stay like that. But if you think, let me continue to try and find different ways where I can do service and also bring my son, then Krishna will help you. In other words, Krishna rewards the endeavor.
Yes,
So
Guru
don't give up. Keep trying. Find different ways to find opportunities for service. And if your son sounds like he's a great soul, jumping up and down in kirtan, yeah, that's nice.
Yes,
That's
Guru Maharaj,
something.
in
So
temple.
you want to bring him. You want to continue to do your best.
Yes, Guru Maharaj, in temple, when the kirtan, like sometimes I go for the kirtan night. So Kanhaiya jump and dance like anything. Everybody know Kanhaiya. And because of Kanhaiya, they know me also, that I'm the mother of Kanhaiya, because Kanhaiya is like the boy who never stops when kirtan goes on. He keep on dancing. Everybody will get tired. He won't get tired. So at home also I play all time kirtan.
You're in Farmington Hills?
Yes, Gurudev.
Oh, good. I can't wait to come there. I'll dance with your son.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. And because of him only I am Krishna conscious. He brings me in Krishna conscious. And
Good.
sometimes I blame him, my son only, that because of you I'm not able to do any service because I have to take care of you all time. So
No, it's okay. He's doing service. He's bringing you. You're not bringing him.
yes, Gurudev, this is true. He's the
Yeah.
reason I'm in Krishna conscious.
Good. That's Krishna's mercy upon you.
Yes, Gurudev.
Good.
Thank you
Yeah,
so much,
keep going.
Gurudev.
Krishna will help you. Just don't give up. That's all.
Thank you so much, Gurudev, for this talk, because it always haunt my thoughts that why I'm not able to do service. Even I'm getting opportunity, I'm not able to.
Well, when you're going on a journey, if one road is blocked, you look for another road. Sometimes you take the detour road or the long way around, but somehow or other, there's many roads to the same destination, at least from the material point. In the same way, if it doesn't work one way, see what other way you can try. Just try your best. Krishna will help you, guaranteed, no question about that. He helps those who help themselves.
Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj. And also, Guru Maharaj, there is one question, one doubt.
Yeah, I have to go actually because I'm running late for
Okay.
my next thing. So hold your
It's okay.
doubt, but
Yeah,
keep
you can ask
in
on Friday.
mind your first question and what you can do to somehow that's the big thing. If you can overcome that, then you'll be successful.
Thank you so much, Gurudev.
Anyone who seriously executes Krishna consciousness will be successful. That is guaranteed.
Thank you so much, Gurudev.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jai Gurudev, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Maharaj, there is a
Srila
question
Prabhupada, Jai
on
Gurudev.
chat. Maharaj, there is a question on chat by Dheeraj Prabhu. Is it okay if
I have no time right now.
So, Dheeraj
yeah.
Prabhu, we can ask on Friday. Yes.
Yeah, just hold it and we'll get it then, because I don't like to just snap an answer and just leave it at that. I would rather answer the question nicely. Tell him he can write to me and write the question, and I'll respond that way also.
Yes, Maharaj. Yeah, sure. Dheeraj Prabhu, please do that. Thank you so much. Thank you,
Okay.
dear. Thank you,
Thank
Maharaj.
you very much.
Class. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai,
Hare
Srila
Krishna,
Prabhupada ki
Dandavat,
jai.
Prabhupada ki
Ki Jai.
Jai.
First class is
Thank you
Jai.
very
Bhakti Sangha
much. Hare
devotees.
Krishna.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Haribo.
Hare Krishna. Tomorrow's class is with
Haribo.
Bhakti Sangha devotees, and the
Don't
time is 12:20 p.m. UK time.
no, those of you who went to the retreat, don't forget to write your glorifications of your experience. We're all waiting for that. I got 2 so far. I got one from Somya Datri. I got one from Amrita Nam. So whoever else attended the retreat.
You didn't get mine, Guru Maharaj?
Huh?
I sent it to Ekta because I thought that's what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, that's the right thing.
Okay. I hope she passes it on to you.
No, she's gonna compile it into a file and then make it available all at once.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Gurudev. Thank you so much, Gurudev.
Prabhupada ki jai, Gurudev ki
Dear
jai.
devotees, tomorrow's class is with Bhakti Sangha, and the verse number is 7:13:28, and the time is little different. Like we are going to 12:20 p.m. UK time. So please note, I'll share the WhatsApp link, Zoom link, and the poster in the WhatsApp group today. So thank you so much. Please note down the time and please join. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you.
Dhamma Pranam.
Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.